Niiji Indigenous. So today I'd like to talk a little bit about, managing time. I'll go back a little bit to managing stress. So this is a really busy month for me, and poof, like that. Now half the month is gone, and there's just so much to do. And when you're feeling stressed about time, you need to actually make a little time, think, don't rush yourself, because when you start rushing yourself, that's when stupid things happen. Like last Thursday, I was in a rush and I backed into a dumpster and broke out the rear window on my Blazer, and I just got it replaced today. So and that kind of, I was mad at myself right away, but then it is what it is. A lot of things. Slow down, breathe. If you got a lot to do, especially over a period of time, like a week, a month, or just a couple of days, you know, kind of try to plan your schedule a little bit, and think things out in your head. Don't overthink them, but make your own little schedule. Um, and I'm just getting back from my tribe, Dakota Metawakiton powwow this weekend. That was just extraordinary. It was good to put my feet on the homelands. Very honored. I'm the captain of the honor guard also, so that's something I'm very proud of. Yesterday was National Sobriety Day, so today I am, not that I keep count like this all the time, but I did the math yesterday, is 4,175 days sober. And I was talking to a good friend of mine at the powwow, and he had 23 years sober, and we talked a little bit about I as you get further in recovery, I guess you call it long term. um sometimes I do think about it, and then I really start to think I don't want to feel that way. I don't even really have to roll over into the consequences of a relapse, but just physically, I don't want to feel that way. And I remember when I quit, I told myself I'm just going to give it, one honest shot. If I can do it, I can do it. If I can't, I can't. And and part of my reasoning, my addictive reasoning back then was, I'm if I can't do it, I don't want to make a bunch of attempts and then just be guilt ridden every time that I'm trying to catch a buzz. But now that's a thing of the past. Never totally let your guard down, because I've seen some people, in some serious long term recovery that have relapsed, and I don't know the circumstances of their individual cases, but never let your guard totally down. There's things that I do that would probably trigger other people, that I wouldn't, now that I just wouldn't recommend for everybody in recovery. Because I've got the strength to go in a bar, like play pool once in a while. Got a good friend in Wabasha. She owns a brewery. She has just like this amazing selection of non-alcoholic beers. I do like to have a non-alcoholic beer once in a while, and where I'm sitting, this is not going to work for anybody else, or everybody, I should say. Is um, that little taste might set you into a relapse. Fortunately for me, it doesn't. So that's why I'd say I wouldn't recommend my habits for everybody, because in recovery we're all individuals. Our reasons and the trauma for our addictions and how we manage to get into recovery are all as unique as the individual who is going into recovery. So, always keep that in mind. Um, it's just, always feel where other people are at. That's always a good thing. And, it was a good time this weekend. It was spiritual. It's a time of changes and new beginnings for my tribe. We're a really, really small tribe. And I didn't know, how things would be when I went down there. I was pleasantly surprised. Um, so that was all good. And with me moving forward, just as a part of, my balance and self care is going to be from this point forward to be more involved with my tribe. Um, Going down, doing some teachings and some ceremonies for the tribe. So that I'm really looking forward to that. That's just super exciting to me. Um, and like today it was kind of run, run, run. They finally came with the glass for my window at the very last minute, and then I had to go grocery shopping because I was out of town all weekend, and then I had to go drop my car off the shop because I got some other little things I'm working on, um, and so just pretty much got in the door and just like and then I was like, well, I still got to do this, and I'd like to do this right away when I get home after work on Monday. So it's because I know people look forward to it. And if you made it this far, give it a like and a share. Sharing always helps. And I hope what I'm saying every week is somebody's taking something good from it. Because all I want is the best for everybody else. I want good healing. I want good spirituality. Um, so remember, put that tobacco down every morning. Thanks, Creator. And Kikuapman.